Oregon. It is Thursday, a beautiful morning. The sun's out again. And you know what I noticed?
Yeah.
With the rain yesterday, a lot of the leaves have fallen. It's a big difference because the fall color show has been spectacular.
And it's happened really fast.
Yeah.
I think with the different weather we've had, and I'm sure there's a great explanation for it, but it just kind of hit, and then the change happened like that.
Oh yeah, the colors are beautiful.
Gone.
Yeah, they're leaving.
Or starting to be
starting to be gone. So folks with rakes, unfortunately, are going to be raking and raking. It's kind of that losing battle that goes on. I think across people.
This is the time when I enjoy living downtown because there's no raking to do, and there's only actually, as a downtown resident, we don't really have to do shoveling, but we do.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of people who live in our building. My husband goes out there and shovels.
Oh, how nice.
Because of the people and some of the delivery people, and the city does most of it, but honestly,
it's just kind of nice to get out there.
It's hard to really get that. Isn't that nice?
Well, you know,
I think
shoveling
that's really nice of them.
Shoveling is great aerobic activity. I did a research project a couple years ago just trying to figure it out because I was out shoveling my whole driveway one day. I thought, okay, I got to figure this out. Did you know that an hour of shoveling, you expend more calories than an hour of playing basketball?
Really?
Yes.
That doesn't surprise me.
That is a huge aerobic activity.
And you really, I mean, as you are with working out, you have to be careful and listen to your body too, because it's a lot of, you know, potential back pain that you can do. There's a lot of lifting. You have to get your legs in it. I think we did a piece last year about making sure, talking to a doctor, of how many injuries there are shoveling.
Right.
And you would never think that that would be the case.
Right. So I'm guessing, leaf raking has got to be an aerobic activity as well. In fact, I'm catching up with Chuck Beanstra a little bit later today from Landscape Impressions to talk about fall cleanup projects around your yard. I'm going to put him to the test and see if he knows how many calories you expend raking leaves. I'll have
okay, you got to check back in.
Okay.
We're really anxious to hear about that. I had a really cool opportunity yesterday, Terry, and it's one that we're going to share with the viewers of 8 West. On October 21st, we have a new partner, and it's DNR Sports Center in Kalamazoo.
Oh.
And so if you've never been there, they have everything you'd ever need for any kind of like outdoor or even some indoor activities, you know, like hunting and fishing, and it's really a cool place to go. Bait, all that. But we were talking about guns. Have you really realized how the popularity of women in firearms, I mean, it has just exploded. You know,
no pun intended.
No pun intended, exactly. And so we were doing the story, and I'm not going to say too much because we want to save it for the actual story on the 21st. But look at some of these accessories even. Look at the pink hats. We're talking about pink protection, goggles for your eyes, even earplugs, gloves, things like that. And my gosh, it makes sense. You know, they say in the last 3 years it especially has exploded. When you're talking about 50% of the population with women, or 52 in some cases, that has really kind of been on the outside of this hobby, of this sport, and then they're starting to get interested, it only makes sense. You know, this is a Smith & Wesson gun, and it's one that they often say is a good starter for women and men because it's lightweight and it's easy to handle. We're going to get into that a little bit more, and they're actually doing a special on that gun. But just talking about women wanting to be a part of what their husbands and their kids are doing, and actually in taking classes, how when done right and safely, you know, a lot of people are fearful of guns. And myself, I like to learn more, but I do have that fear because it's often associated with negative things. But the people that are following the rules are actually working safe and taking the classes. So it's really interesting. We're really excited. I don't know about your own experience with hunting. If you've done a lot, if you shot a lot of firearms, it's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. Well, and there's this adrenaline rush. A few years ago, actually it was several years ago before I had Jen, so it was a long time ago. She's 12 now. One of my really good girlfriends got into skeet shooting, and so I went out skeet shooting with her a couple times, and at that point they said it was the second fastest growing sport for women. Golf was #1 and shooting was #2, and so I'm guessing it's just really gotten even that much more popular.
Even the firearms instructor we talked to, Monica, she's a woman, and she said 3 years ago when she went out to like a ladies' day at a gun club, there were like 3 to 5 women there. Now you'll find 30 to 60.
Wow.
Yeah, on a given like ladies' day event. So it's something that has definitely grown, and you can see the many reasons why. If you're interested in pursuing something like that, we're going to have all the information for you very, very interesting.
Yeah, and perfect timing as we head into the beginning of firearm deer season, which is a couple of weeks away.
Yeah, I was just asking my husband, I'm like, when does it start? And he said November 15th. And so that's going to be, he has a really big hunting family. And so they like to go up north and hunt and do that sort of thing. And
well, Neil and Reese from B93 invited us to come on a hunt with them.
Really?
We should do that. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Honored.
Yeah, they loved it when we kicked off 8 West. We were in their studio talking about 8 West and what the show is. Neil, I understand, is a huge viewer. Hey, Neil. So you could take us out into the great outdoors. We'll have to head to DNR and get our
pink hats and our gloves, and they have pink, guns.
Everything.
They have things with. It's endless. We're going to go there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, there was a big event in Grand Rapids last night. Pistons were in town and playing at the Van Andel Arena. Unfortunately, the Pistons lost, but it was a super great opportunity for local fans to get there. Actually, had tickets to the game, and I was planning to go, but at the last minute, my son Jake wanted to go. So Bill and Jen were already going.
Right.
I had talked to Amanda Harper, 8 West photographer, who's a huge sports fan. Asked her if she really wanted to go to the game.
Familiar. I think I've been to this place before.
So we all met downtown. My husband was looking for a great place to eat downtown, and I said, well, Rachel was raving about the Hop Cat. So here we all are, dinner before the big game. We've got Amanda, and there's Jake and Bill and Jen. And we had to order those crack fries that you were bragging about. And so here's a basket of food, and I have to say they were really, really tasty. They weren't quite as spicy as I thought they would be from a like a hot.
It's hard to identify. There are so many different spices in them. Don't you think it's kind of hard to identify even what some of them are?
Right. And there was one I said, I taste one thing that was almost a little tangy, and I could not.
I think I know what you mean.
Is it a dill or something like that?
I'm not sure. It's crazy. And it's unidentifiable to the eye.
Right. So that's probably what I was tasting. But here's what I ate. This was my dinner.
You did not.
I did. I seriously did. You can even ask Amanda.
Wow. Really?
I know. I was so motivated. By the end of the day, this was 5:30, between 5:30 and 6 o'clock, and I don't like to have a big meal or a lot of stuff before because I try to wind down in the evening. And I didn't end up going to the game, by the way. I gave my tickets to Jake and Amanda, and so I gave my flip cam to Amanda just because I wanted to be. I was curious how close to the court were my seats. Here's where I would have been sitting.
Oh,
I know. It would have been
great.
super close.
I've been to a lot of Pistons games, and it's really great when you get the opportunity to sit this close or even closer. You really can appreciate how big the players are.
And how
they're
talented
enormous.
they are.
They are, close to 7 feet tall.
Right.
You just don't see that when you're walking around in day-to-day life. When you're sitting high up, they look really small.
Right. And when they're on TV, they don't look super big like that at all. But, the interesting thing is I think basketball is such a sport of finesse, and you hear a lot of these professional athletes take ballet or take some dance training, and when you see them in motion moving down the court like that, you can almost really get a huge appreciation for exactly what kind of just body movement and coordination they have. So.
It is. I really enjoy watching basketball in the winter because it's inside and such. Talking about winter too, my mom was away for 2.5 weeks, and she just arrived home. She went to Eugene, Oregon to visit my aunt who lives there. Lives out on the West Coast, and she brought me a surprise. I just wanted to bring it in because it was reminiscent of winter. My mom loves to knit, but look at this really
It is beautiful.
It's black, and I have a lot of black things, and I wear a lot of black.
It's gorgeous.
And it has this really unique kind of, I told her it looks almost kind of plasticky, waxy, but it's
so
just shimmery, and it's
shiny.
different colors there. I have a huge scarf collection because she likes to knit, and she was making this. I thought it was cool. She came back with presents for all of us, but this is what I got. And so I'll be donning this, I'm sure, in some of my stories at 8 West. I like them long because I like to kind of tie them around and do little stuff with them.
So stylish. So beautiful.
Thanks, Mom.
All right.
Glad you're back.
We're glad.